learn to speak to the people, first is I have this formula: the past, the present, and the future. So speak about the past. For example, you can introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Eka. What's your name? And of course, like, okay, my name is Ida. My name is Gertrude. Oh, where are you from? Maybe you can speak about. Oh, did you speak about something that related to you? For example, in my country, in Jakarta, especially in Jakarta city, there are lots of traffic jam. So, yeah. So, traffic jam conversation is always relatable to everyone. It's just an example, okay, guys? So, basically, if you find something that is common and most people can also relate, talk about that. For example, traffic jam. Hey, I was from this road, and then there was a traffic jam. How about you? Did you get stuck in the traffic jam or something like that? Talking about the past, how did you get here?
Welcome back to the Balance It podcast. This is a platform where we discuss everything related to purpose, personal development, career development, and lifestyle in general.
Yes, and in today's episode, definitely you can see a familiar guest. We have her back on your screen. And initially we had done an episode on career development. Yes, and if you have not watched that episode, you have to understand why she is back. You need to know the reason why she is back. So yes, so tune in until the end and ensure that you send in those questions, as it will be premiering, because we can be able to answer those questions in our wrap-up segment. And I am your host. I am Eka Nur.
I'm Gertrude Nasike.
And me, Eka.
Thank you. So to start us off, we will definitely have time to again reintroduce yourself for those who have maybe for the new subscribers. We'll just have icebreakers. And would you rather prefer winter or summer season?
Well, since I'm a tropical girl, I'm from Indonesia, by the way. So, of course, I like summer, because in winter, I will just cook up inside my own house, and of course, I cannot go to network with people, which is our theme today, right? What about you?
Myself, you're definitely a host.
We should, yeah.
We need to interchange roles. For me, myself, it's definitely summer, because I love going outside more than being indoors. In the winter, you get less time to go outside, and during summer there are so much lively vibes everywhere. So definitely summer.
For me, it's also summer, because at least it's bright, and there's something about like just how bright, when it's bright outside, it just makes my mood also be bright. I'm just happy. So, and then also the fact that it's warm, I don't have to have jackets on. I can just wear freely and be comfortable. So yeah. And then, would you rather wear sneakers or heels?
Ooh. Of course, you know my personality. I'm a sneaker person, not a high heels person. If you can see my, like right now, of course, I wear my favorite sneaker. And yeah, but of course, sometimes I wear heels only for a formal occasion, for networking occasion. But day-to-day, sneakers it is.
Well, for me, for a very long time, it has been high heels. I would prefer high heels than sneakers. It's just that when I came here to do my master's program is where I've been more comfortable with sneakers. But actually, like back in Kenya, I was not a sneakers person. Either sandals or very light shoes, but not sneakers, and high heels.
For me, I think I would go with both, but I would incline more on sneakers because I love something comfortable, But for high heels, sometimes you just want to dress up and really just feel good and show up also sometimes at events, and they really come in handy. But for comfort and normal day, it's definitely sneakers all the way. Yeah. So our last icebreaker is would you prefer online networking events or offline networking events, like the physical ones?
Definitely offline networking events because it's more interactive, like you can see how the other person is reacting to you, and then you can also meet people. There is some kind of a closure when you are having an offline networking instead of online. Of course, there are some people who prefer online, which is very convenient from home. But as for me, if you ask, then I prefer the offline one.
I also prefer offline, but during the recent times when after COVID everything just went online, so I feel like I got also inclined to online, and I could prefer online definitely because of now what you've just said about convenience. And since especially when we were working, we were always everything was online. Having meetings is online. Just having conversation with your friends, it's online. So right now I'm both, but I would prefer offline.
Oh, for me, I think I would just prefer online because I prefer not even for convenience. I feel like it's much easier for me to connect with someone, especially if it's in terms of professionalism online as compared to meeting with them one to one. With friends, networking, like friends meeting offline is okay, but for professionals, I prefer online because I just feel like meeting them in person, it's quite tense. I don't know what to say, or so I just normally go with the surface and convenience, which is online. Yes.
Yes, and our today's conversation, just talking about offline and online networking, is our conversation is about networking, and that is why we have our guest back here. We will be talking all matters networking, how to network as a professional mostly, and that is what we'll be focusing on. And maybe Eka, now you can introduce yourself. You can reintroduce yourself.
Okay, hello again, everyone. Thank you for requesting me back on Balance It podcast channel with Ada and Gertrude. My name is Eka Nur, or people call me Eka usually. I'm from Indonesia, international student here in Hungary. And before I pursued my master degree, I was an IT product manager in several startup companies in Indonesia. And before I was an IT product manager, I was an IT recruiter or IT recruitment consultant, in which I recruit a different person for different positions for mainly startups in Indonesia. So it's nice to be here again. Thank you, ladies, for inviting me back, and thank you for you who request me back here.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is home now.
Yeah,
This is
it is. Yeah, so just to continue the conversation, like, what would you describe or define networking to you? Like, what does networking mean to you?
All right. So for me, networking is an interaction between two or more people to connect with each other, whether it's a personal or professional. So here we will also can describe not only professional networking but also personal networking. So yeah, that's how networking is for me.
Wow.
And I think just to continue with the conversation about online and offline networking,
Yes.
you said you prefer offline networking.
Yes.
Why do you prefer offline networking? Now you can go in depth and tell us what happens in the offline networking.
Yes. Because of course during the COVID, everyone will rather pivot to more online networking, which is also currently more convenient than before COVID, because people has developed many applications that enable this online networking more comfortable. But I will talk about that later. I will talk about the offline first. Of course, this has been many years back in history of us, a human, which is we are social being. So being able to meet person, whether it's professionally or personally, in front of you can make you feel more connected to them, let's say. Because during the offline networking, you can also share many things with this person. It's not like when you're online, you cannot share many things, but you can really see in front of you like their expression, their reaction to what you are talking about, whether or not they are interested in the topics that you are talking to them. And like I said before, maybe if you haven't watched the previous video, I was also talking about how networking is very important to career development, to find a mentor. Because during the networking event is one of the most popular way to find a network. Like, for example, going to the conference, going to the like seminar where you can find people there that has the same passion, the same interest with you, and even you can connect with the speakers. And all of that is better if you can do it offline, since it is more convenient to just approach anyone. Because up until these days, I haven't found any online platform in which you can approach someone in a group. For example, like maybe if there are some breaking room, you can go to that room and then ask, "Oh, hi guys, what are you doing?" Or speaking about conversation. But there is one platform that is kind of similar, which called Discord. Maybe you guys have heard about it before, but not everyone can utilize it like when we are in an offline event like that. So that's why I prefer the offline one because of various reasons that I've mentioned before. But of course, not to undermine the online one because I will also explain to you guys if you are interested.
Definitely, yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah, for me, but also for the viewers.
Viewers,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So you've also as from the icebreaker, I had said like I prefer online because of the convenience, right? And offline because I'm wondering like what am I going to say to this person because the atmosphere is a bit tense. How do you actually start a conversation in terms of networking? Is it just like you go, "Hi Eda, I'm Gertrude and I do this," and like what is actually how do you do it? Yes.
All right. So in an offline event, for example, let's say conference event, first is that you have to identify what kind of event that you are worth to come in, because not every event that they advertise out there is really worth it for you to spend your time and to meet people. So first is to understand which event that is worth to be going to. So what kind of event that you are worth going to? Of course, first is the event that is interest you. So if you are, for example, interested in business management, maybe you can join a conference which business or business management conference. Or if you like data science, go to the data science conference. For sure, you can meet people that is has the same interest in you. So don't go to event that don't interest you because it's just wasting your time. And the second one, of course, an event in which is not too big. If the event is too big, then you are just coming there, sitting down, and then listening to people talking. Yeah, so it's not worth it because it's just like you are a viewer of television. Why you don't have to go there, right? So it's better if the event is not too big, but it's just my preference. Maybe there are some people who like big event, I don't know. But as for me, it's better if it's just a limited event. Not everyone can go in, go out, and not too many participants, because you want to know them and you want to approach, especially the speaker, because for sure the speaker has more experience than you, and you can make the speaker as your mentor if you feel like you have the same communication style with them. In a big event, usually the speaker is out of reach. Like you just hear them talking, and after that they are gone. So just be careful. If it's a big event, make sure that there is a networking session at the end of the event. That's the most important thing, because some big event give you a networking session with the speaker. So even if the participant is a lot, the first time that you have to speak is the speaker. But if it's a small event, it's easier to approach them behind the stage or something. Or for me, usually I speak to the people who sit beside me first. That's the most easy one. And in order to speak to the people, first is I have this formula: the past, the present, and the future. So speak about the past. For example, you can introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Eka. What's your name? And of course, like, okay, my name is Ada. My name is Gertrude. Oh, where are you from? Maybe you can speak about. Oh, did you speak about something that related to you? For example, in my country, in Jakarta, especially in Jakarta city, there are lots of traffic jam. So, yeah. So traffic jam conversation is always relatable to everyone. It's just an example, okay, guys? So basically, if you find something that is common and most people can also relate, talk about that. For example, traffic jam. Hey, I was from this road, and then there was a traffic jam. How about you? Did you get stuck in the traffic jam or something like that? Talking about the past. How did you get here? How do you bring like a car or by the bus or something like that? So talking about the past, and then talking about the present. Why do you interested in this event? Or maybe you can talk like, I attend this event because of this speaker. Because this speaker, blah blah blah. Or I really like data science. That's why. Do you like data science too? Something like that. Or do you? Maybe you're a data scientist. Start with yourself, like, oh, I'm a product manager. Are you also, if it's a product manager event, then are you also a product manager? And if it's not, then maybe you can just, move along the conversation. And about the future, like, for example, after this, I want to do this. Like, I want to connect to the speaker. Do you want to come with me? And then let's talk to the speaker or something like that. People really like when you can give a value to them. What is your value? Your value is your knowledge. Like, for example, you give them an information, what you are doing, what is your passion, and maybe you ask them to go with you to meet the speaker. That's the value. So it's not only money. Value is not about money, but also experience. For example, currently, I'm also sharing to you about my knowledge in networking. That is one of the value that I can share in here. So when you want to network to people, first is to approach people that is next to you. And after that, if you are like in the middle of a lot of people, like for example, you are in the networking event, networking night after the conference is over, you will be overwhelmed. Oh my God, there are lots of people. Well, I don't know anyone. Start to look for a group of people that it has the odd number. I also learned this from one of the networking tips in YouTube actually, and I've been practicing that a lot, and it's really worked for me. So don't see all of that as the sea of people. Look at them as like an island, like small island, a lot of small island. Usually, when you talk to a people is focusing on one another. So, for example, if there are three people, sometimes this one people is going to be left out. So that's why look for a group that has an odd number. So you can go and then talk to the people that kind of left out.
Yeah.
So that's why,
Wow.
of course. Yeah, that's for the offline. So start with people that next to you, and then maybe if you're in the middle of people, look for the one that has an odd number. Start to connect with them, and then start to look for someone who has more experience than you, which is of course the speaker. So don't waste your time and your money to go to conference that you already paid, but you don't or you can't speak to the speaker.
Yeah.
That's a waste of time.
Yeah, I agree. And just to give a testimony of what Eka is saying.
You experienced that too,
Like from the networking events that I've been with you, I have seen you practice it.
Wow.
And it's actually, she's not just speaking, she's actually practicing it. Because I remember after the simulation that we had, and the speakers who were there, like the judges who were there, you were like, Eka, do you want to accompany me to go and just say hi to the speaker? And I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And she was like, hi, I'm Eka, and this is my friend Eda. Like, I like the way you actually preach and you actually still practice whatever that you are telling us to stick to.
Yeah, so we were in a simulation cup together in our university, and we actually won that. Yeah, and there was a judge from the professional companies that judge our presentation there, and then of course I don't want to lose the chance, right?
Yeah,
When can I meet them again? It's like one in a million days in here, especially. So it's not working. Even it's not only like conference, seminar, but even when you are in competition, the judges, they are your main target, guys. So yeah, and recently I've created this name card. For some people who they are really like digital, you have to create a digital name card. It's very important to show who you are, where can you be, where or how can you be contacted. For me, I always bring my physical name card even now, and also my digital name card. So when in an event, maybe Eda saw me several times when I was talking with the judge, or in an event like, hey, my name is Eka, and then this is my name card, and of course now they know about me and know, yeah, in the future when I want to connect with them again, I can just, do you still remember me from this event or something like that. Like that's kind of a follow-up. That's why offline is way better, because in online it's kind of hard to exchange those kind of like name card or conversation.
That's really really enlightening, and I think it's something I'll start practicing and just push myself, especially when it comes to professional networking events. Yeah, and we've spoken about these events, especially let's now focus like mostly on maybe the offline ones, like right now, and you've brought out the aspect of knowing the specific events you want to do, like these, how do I call them? Like you have interests in those events, right? Not just everything. Like, would you probably tell us some of the techniques that you use to actually identify these events, or maybe the sources, places that you get to understand, maybe social media or where you get these events from?
Okay. So back in my country, I don't know if it's also working here, but there was this one application. Okay, this is not a promotion because we are not getting sponsored by them. Just for disclaimer.
Yeah, true.
There was this one application that I usually use. It's called Eventbrite.
Eventbrite, yeah.
It's also
I was using it while in Kenya.
Yeah, same as in Kenya, like you see. Yeah.
It's also happened with people in Indonesia. We use Eventbrite a lot, but recently, like many social media also adapt this kind of features like Eventbrite. For example, in Facebook, they also now create an event that you can share, you can recommend your friend, and also on LinkedIn. So that's why I don't limit myself on what is the platform. So anywhere you can find, maybe from your friend, from your colleague, from your peers, but mostly the event that I attend to is from either like promotion in Instagram, because I really like about product management, and then Instagram. So sometimes it shows to me the marketing about the event related to product, and then of course Facebook, like I mentioned before, LinkedIn, and the last one is the Eventbrite. Yes.
Guys, use the power of technology. You can clearly see, yes, everything is done online and then it's offline. Yeah. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, because we are talking about offline a lot. So of course, like I said before, I want to also explain about the online thing. Online networking. It's not that it's bad. Like, oh, okay, offline is good, so I don't need an online networking. No, of course. When you are like very very far away, and then there is even that is very interesting, don't limit yourself to the online networking, because when I was in my country in Indonesia, I attend also several events online which held in London and in New York. It was about a startup pitching, because of course because I work in a startup company, so I would like to know how to pitch, like pitching in front of the investor, right? And it was a really interesting experience for me, because if I just attend a flying event in my country, there are probably not that many that has a pitching event open for public. But fortunately, in other countries like in UK and in US, those kind of investor pitch is open for public, and I cannot find it if it's not for online. And after that, back in, I was also once create an event with my friend. It's a international, it's a national conference in my country for youth, and we created online during COVID. There was more than 400 participants in it, and we created with a platform called Hopin. Again, it's not a sponsor, but yeah, this Hopin platform, it is very interesting because they have the room called the networking room. So when you go in that room, you will be matched with someone who also go in the room, like click that, and then you can start to network with them, and there will be a small profile about who he is or who she is that you are going to network with, and you can start a conversation. And it's just one of the platforms. I know there are plenty of platforms out there. So make sure when you are attending online conference, you have to know what kind of platform it is and whether it has those kind of features or not. Because if you are just attending an online, but it's just like seminar, which is like one way, you only listening to people and you can't do anything in it, then it's not that worth it. But if you say, oh, this platform, yeah, I know it has a free event after that where you can network, then maybe it's worth a try. So yeah, and in online networking, actually what you can do is that you share your LinkedIn profile after you have a conversation with them. And of course, like what I said before in the previous video, that to find mentor, don't limit yourself to offline. Since if you have your dream company, for example, if you want to work in Tesla, then you're in a marketing, try to find marketing from Tesla, try to connect with them in LinkedIn and message them. Okay, so don't limit yourself to on offline. Online also has its perks.
Yeah, I think now we are at par. Offline is Maybe you can touch on how to prepare for both offline and online networking. First of all, is it different how the preparation process for both offline and online networking?
Well, I would say it mostly the same because yeah, I usually have like several steps to prepare. Because of course we know that this event is already the event that you like, the topics. Since you can the people you can find people with like mind, and it is easier for you to talk with them if it's something that you both like. And of course, before that, you have to research about the event itself. For example, if it's offline, you of course have to know where it is held, how many people will attend it, and of course how to get there, basic things like that, because you don't want to delay it for even a second if it's something like the event that really interests you. Even you can come there before the event, because there was one of my experience going to the offline event like 30 minutes before it began, and I can find someone that, hey, are you going to this event? And then she said, oh yes. Oh, where are you coming from? You can even start to network before the event.
Wow.
Yeah, when you go there earlier. And of course, you have to dress appropriately. You have to know what kind of event are you going to attend to. Is it a formal event or is it not? Because of course you don't want to wear the wrong costumes.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it will be kind of awkward if you are going with a very very formal costume. Meanwhile, the other just wear jeans and sneakers. Yeah.
True. Especially with the cultural differences. I think it's important for people to do their preparations very easily, very before the networking event, because you can find, like back in my country, sometimes when you're going for most networking events, they would prefer you to be in formal outfits. But now maybe coming here, you find that those formal outfits are very rare to even see. Except maybe in banks, we don't see most people in formal outfits.
And I think also it's also because most of the networking events maybe that we've seen back home are those like really official. But I've seen there's some which you find is a professional event, but maybe they're going for a hike. But maybe you find there are engineers, maybe a group of engineers or their board, just that they're doing that professional event in a hike. So you find people are also dressed for actually the hike and not just
Not just even, yeah. Lots of currently back in my country, of course, there are lots of startup events in which you can just go with your sneakers, jeans, and even a hoodie. Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, there is even that also include the investor. Oh, that's a different one. Of course, you want to dress formally, right? So yeah, those are some preparation, like research a lot, and then decide on what you're gonna wear. And of course, the last one is that you have to prepare what you are going to share. For example, in offline, like I said, I bring my name card both digitally and the physically, or your LinkedIn profile if you are going in a network, online networking. Yeah. So that's something that you can use. Hopefully, it's useful.
Okay, that's really impressive. And I'm just thinking sometimes we do network a lot and even go to those events that really interest us, but you end up probably not still getting quality networks. How do we ensure that in our networking journey we actually end up with quality and intentional like networks in terms of maybe the contacts that we receive or the people we connect with?
All right. So it is actually very hard to find the right person. I remember one of the research says that 79% of a successful marketing or sales is because they can find the right person, the key person. And how to identify that among those sea of people? It's really hard, of course, but for sure, if it's something like a conference or a seminar, the speaker is the most quality. Of course, it is already assured that they are someone that is qualified and also have a good experience, of course. But of course, it's not easy for you to be able to get their contact, especially with a lot of people. So what you are going to do is that first try to approach them with you are as yourself, and then after that try to relate to them. This is for the speaker, okay?
Yeah.
So like try to relate to them. For example, if Gertrude come to me, you are talking about Balanced podcast, like, I could say, hello, are you Gertrude? Like, hey Gertrude, I saw your Balanced podcast from episode about how you make yourself well with the fitness, for example. Especially, I like your statement about blah blah blah. So that's why it's very good to have research, which is the preparation that we talked before.
Yeah.
And of course, people will be really glad if you are talking about what they have produced or they did, because it means that you are really interested in them. And that's how you can get their attention and get their contact. So that's why you have to research about it. After that, of course, maintain your relationship. So even after the event, don't forget, for example, if you connect in LinkedIn and you haven't contacted him or her for 1 year or 2 years, if he or you see he or she is having new job, say congrats, or give him or her gifts during the Christmas, for example. Or for example, just simply greetings each other when you meet again in an event. So it's better to not only create new contact, but also follow up with the contact. Sometimes after we create a contact with someone in a conference, we forgot about them. But we never know those people. Maybe he or she already changed jobs to a better position, to a better company, or maybe overseas. We never know. That's why it's good to follow up. But speaking back to about how to get a high quality contacts, first you have to research about them. But if it's not the speaker, then it's kind of hard. But what I can say is that look for the people who ask during the conference, like those people who ask question or say something during the event is usually those that has more knowledge. So, or at least, yeah, they're braver than you for sure.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. And aside from that, it's really, really random, unfortunately.
I'm also thinking there are these people who say, I'm an introvert. I can't to network with people, or I don't like being around people, but we need networks for our personal growth and also for our professional growth. For our professional growth.
There is one really funny thing that I've ever read. I think it was in Instagram. It says that introvert person is usually adopted by the extrovert person as a friend. So introvert person basically has no interest or prefer by themselves, but the extrovert person adopted because they need someone to listen to them, and the introvert person is very good listener for sure. So what if you are an introvert person? Well, in my definition as an introvert, maybe you guys don't believe me, but I'm an introvert. I don't show, right?
Even high interaction,
Because it's because of experience. Like I meant myself, and currently this is my professional self, guys. So it's not my personal self. I am a very introverted person, to be honest. And my definition of introvert is that not that you are just sitting in the corner or not doing anything, only by yourself, but introvert is someone who gets the energy back when they are alone or by themselves. Meanwhile, extrovert person is someone who energizes if there are people around. So it's not because of your nature that you don't want to meet people, but it's about how you recover your energy. maybe after this, I will just lock myself inside my room. Yeah, because I interact a lot with the both of you. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, but how can I network? This is what I do at the beginning of my life as a professional. First is that I try to establish my professional side, which is I try to have a boundaries between, okay, this is a personal, okay, this is a professional. It's different thing. So even though I'm like this, feeling like very energetic and a lot of interaction for my professional side, but during my personal time, I will convert back to myself. So you can make those two difference between your personal and professional. Just like in the previous video about the difference between personal and professional branding. So try to create that two sides of you yourself. And then after that, what I did was I like games. I like playing games, both mobile games and PC games. So what I did was I imagined myself as a character that playing in a game. So I have to go to the event, imagine myself doing a quest. Like at the end of the quest, I will reward myself. But yeah, during the quest, like I challenge myself. If I meet with a person, I talk to them, then I will get plus 10 experience, something like that. So feeling like, okay, I'm just in a virtual world. For example, like feeling yourself that you are using VR or AR right now. So yeah, leave yourself back home, like your introvert self. Now you are a game character. Yeah, that's why like, okay, speaking with Ada plus 60 points, speaking with Ada plus 60 points, and then you will have a level up. Something like that. At the end, maybe when you come back from the event, you can reward yourself, maybe with ice cream, or yeah, that's your loot bounty. Yeah. At the end of the quest, your quest reward, something like that. This is also a trick that I learned from one of the video in YouTube. YouTube has a lot of informative video. But if you watch this right now, that's what I want to share you guys. Don't be afraid just because you're introvert, because you never know what is inside you. And this is for your future, and networking is very important. That's why we cannot survive without networking. In fact, maybe I will want to add a little bit about the impact of networking in my life. So basically, do you believe me? I've been working in 4 different companies, but the only company that I applied is only my first company.
Wow.
Yes. So the other 3 companies which I moved to after my first one is I got it from my network. But it's not like, okay, Ka, you're my friend, so let's go, my company, yeah, you hired. Not like that, but it was because of, I got it from my friend because they don't advertise it in the job portal or in LinkedIn or something like that. So I got this opportunity because my friend said, oh, you're looking for job opportunity. My company is currently open, but it hasn't been posted in any job portal. So I got it, and then of course I submit my CV, and they also still screen my CV, and I also have to go through the interview and all of the recruitment process. But basically, you see, I just want you to realize that it is very important to have networking. And also, can you imagine, would you recommend someone that you don't know? Of course not, right? So that's why my friend, my colleague, is recommend me because he, one of the company is a he, my friend, and then the other is a she, and my next company. They believe and they can see my credibility. That's why they say, Eka, we have a job opportunity, and I think it suits you. Why don't you try to apply? So that's why, the other 3 companies that I've worked for, I didn't get it from the job portal. I get it from my friend.
Wow. And I like how you have said it, because sometimes people will say, it's because you know someone. a common phrase that we have had.
Yeah.
Because you know someone, you have connections.
You have a godfather in the industry.
But that was you pushing yourself to network and get to know these people.
Yeah.
And now you have this opportunity in front of you.
Indeed.
And I would just want to know, there's this mentality where sometimes you find most people think networking is like an exchange, especially if you like for the young people. Maybe it's still in the bachelors. I would say I would talk mostly for Kenyan, maybe. Like you're going to a networking event, and probably most people have this mentality. Yes, I'm meeting Eka. She's the director of maybe this company, so I'm going to meet her. And then I'm asked, are there job opportunities or how? What advice would you give to that person? Is it like, are you networking for instant gratification at that moment, or how long does it take, or do you build a relationship? How long does it take to navigate this?
Okay. Actually, I have no like exact answer for that because as for me, my network is for a long time. Like whether it's a friendship, whether it's a professional one. But what I can say is that when you networking is like the exchange of value. So don't ever. What is it like? Don't ever hope for other people to give you value if you never give them value. So, about how long can they give you value? Well, they will come when you need it. For example, if you can establish a good relationship with them, and I was like just kind of talking with my colleague in another company, like, hey, I think I'm getting stuck in my company and I am looking for a job opportunity right now, maybe you know. And it was just like around more than 3 months after I know that person. And he or she said, oh, I have this opportunity. It's not in my company, but in my friend's company. Would you like to try? So yeah, as long as you can maintain a good relationship with them, and it's not always every single day. Like every day, I will say to character, "Hi, good morning. How are you today?" It's not like that. If you know thousands of people, it's gotta be like a bot, right? Not like that, but in a special occasion, maybe like I said, you can say congratulations if the person is moving, or maybe give a gift during their special event. Or you share to them. This is why, like I said, if you have the same interest, maybe, for example, you meet someone from a product conference. If you know another product conference event, share it to them. Who knows? Maybe they're also interested in going with you. Or you can also introduce someone to the other. For example, I know Gertrude because Anita introduced me to Gertrude. Now we are also a good friend, and that's how you see. Maybe someday I also will introduce Gertrude to my friend, my other friend, and just like that, it will become a network, a big network. So that's why giving value, it has no expiration date, and then after that, just convey with them when you are having a struggle. Like for example, even though he or she is not your mentor, but you know he or she has more experience than you, then you can start to, after know them about maybe a month or so, you can start to hey sir, hey ma'am, I'm really inspired by your article about let's say AI, and then I'm really interested in this. Do you have any recommendation on how I can start to learn about AI? And then maybe he or she will going to give you an article. If you also sometimes give them an article about AI. And what I want to say to all of you guys who wants to network, especially if you are contacting someone from LinkedIn, and don't feel discouraged when that people don't reply you, because a lot of people, after they are in a high position, they rarely open LinkedIn. So even though you message 1,000 people and only one of them reply, it is okay. Just don't feel discouraged because they don't reply you anymore. Because not everyone can appreciate being in a network. So yeah, that's why I said like every network is precious, but don't hope for any value before you can give them the value.
Wow. I think that's a point to take home.
Yeah.
Just give value as well
Yes.
to your network.
Yeah. And I think maybe we can wrap it up. I have really loved this conversation. I'm like, okay, continue. Continue, please, Eka. But thank you so much. But maybe just one last thing that maybe comes to your mind, an advice. Maybe it's something that we have not tackled today about networking that you would want to give to the audience.
All right, I got this quote from one of my teaching sessions because I also teach soft skills about networking, and I remember in one of the material that is this one phrase like start to network before you feel like you need it. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's powerful. And thank you so much for honoring our second invitation and also the call from our audience. We really appreciate. And where can people find you again?
Okay.
Yes.
So yes, of course, for you who just joined and watched this channel, you can find me in my LinkedIn, Eka Nur. Maybe Ada and also Gertrude will share it to you guys, and you can also find me in my personal email. I'm very active in my email. Just don't spam me with advertisement. Because and my Instagram, although it's not that active, unfortunately, but you can also find me at Eka Nur, Eka Solita.
And also, you have a consultancy business.
Yes. Well, because I was a former recruiter, so I have an HR consultancy business. But basically, you can also reach me through my email because it's a need-based consultancy about your CV, your interview, and maybe you can also ask me about tips like networking, communication, or about the personal branding. I'm open to that.
So that's really, it's been great to have you, and that's it for us. Make sure you subscribe, share, comment, and also just give your feedback on this episode and whatever you also want next. So until next time, bye bye.
Bye.